Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are doing my long-awaited 2024 shelf tour video. It has been a full calendar year since the last time I have recorded one of these, so we have grown quite a bit over the last year with all the albums that we have picked up, all the merchandise and stuff like that. And as you can tell over here, I do have an entirely new bookcase to accommodate all of that. So we have an extra bookcase to go through today. I have put up a couple more posters, as you can see in this opening shot here, but I think my shelves, to be honest with you, haven't changed a whole lot over the last year. We will obviously get into it more because I'll go shelf by shelf here as the video unfolds. But we will have a lot to go through today. I am recording this during the day because I wanted to make sure I have a whole bunch of natural light available left to me. So hopefully the lighting will be a little bit better. I do have some lights on in my room, but most of this is natural lighting. And I don't really know how long this video is going to be. I'm pretty much just going to go shelf by shelf and talk about some things. I guess my thoughts at how I put the shelf together or how things came about and stuff like that. So I think I'm just going to pretty much go along and talk, and whatever the duration is, that's what it's going to be. So without further ado, I think I'm going to start where I started last year, and I'm going to start with that top right bookshelf. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is the first shelf we're going to go through today. I think when I go through the top shelf of each bookcase, I'm just going to go over what's on top as well in that section. So first things first here, you can see all of the light sticks I have up here. So Red Velvet, aespa, and Kiss of Life. The Kiss of Life light stick is a new addition this year. I actually bought it because I was planning on going to one of the Kiss of Life concert dates when they came to the United States a couple weeks ago. I think they just finished their North American leg of their tour, but I decided to pass on it just for like financial reasons and stuff like that. So won't use it this time, but hopefully we'll use it in the future. Here I just have some like signs from concerts and stuff like that that I've picked up as like giveaways and stuff like that. And then we do have Silgi's poster book up there. And then we do have our first Red Velvet shelf of the video. So I have made some alterations to this shelf, but admittedly it hasn't changed too much. You will notice like the main album layout is kind of the same. The only thing I did change to that was I moved ahead or moved up these Orgel versions from the back. So they were back here supporting this Bloom album right here. But I decided to put the, I think it's 9th anniversary, like wine glass box to support that. And I just brought forward or brought ahead this Feel My Rhythm Orgel versions, both of them. And I have obviously either side showing here. So that's very nice. And then this is one, I guess you could say, a big reveal. I kind of like talked about it in my videos prior, but this is what I decided to do with the Silgi photo card that I mistakenly bought as a duplicate. I decided to just put it in a top loader, and I fashioned it in the, I think, FanCon like light stick cover merch type thing. So I think it looks pretty cute, pretty adorable, and I like it a lot. I was trying to figure out where to put it at first, but I think it sits perfectly in this little corner here. I think it fits in just nice with the layout. And then a little extra change here, I put this collect book up here. It actually used to be where my Silgi photo card in the little bare light stick cover is right now. So it used to be over there, but it's up here now. I think it still fits pretty good. All of this, I think, has pretty much stayed the same. I maybe shifted over the selfie book just a little bit to kind of display it more. This keychain is just kind of a random thing sitting here. So I just have it there for aesthetic purposes because it kind of matches the Summer Magic album that I have for Silgi right there. And then in the back, I don't know if I've touched on these yet, but I have two Cosmic albums showing in the front there. Those are actually the two Korean press Cosmic albums. You will see the Target press Cosmic albums later in the video, but I have all of those albums set in the back. And then as you can see right here, I have an extra copy of Bad Boy up in the top left. I just really like that album cover, so I have it showing there. And it's actually an extra copy, so you'll notice, I think I've told this story before, but I ordered a copy of Peekaboo from a seller. I can't remember who it was, but they accidentally sent me a copy of Bad Boy. So that's what that extra copy of Bad Boy is. I just decided to keep it and implement it as part of my shelf decoration. But yeah, that's pretty much the first red velvet shelf we have. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is my second red velvet shelf, and this is more or less just overflow from regular red velvet like releases, but then also a whole bunch of solo releases. I do have some Got the Beat stuff over here as well. This year, and I guess as my shelves have evolved, I've kind of been less rigid with how I organize things. I used to like to keep it rigid, and it's like, okay, have all the regular albums with each other and, have them go in consequential order, or not consequential, sequential order. That's what I meant to say. Have them go in sequential order and just, like I said, be very rigid with it. But I decided to steer away from that and just kind of keep it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So first things first, we do have birthday albums. This is set up differently from last year. So I spent some time rearranging this and figuring out how I wanted to work this shelf for this video, but then also just like, how I like it. I just set these up a little bit differently. I don't have the solely birthday package showing anymore, like the front or whatever, so I just have the side showing. I have the digipacks back there arranged just in member order. The photo books are still back there though. I did attach one of the keychains that I got from, I think it was either the FanCon or the 10th anniversary merch. So that is Sogi's keychain back there. And then this is where I decided to put the photo card stand for probably my favorite Sogi photo card of all time. So this is definitely the 10th anniversary merch photo card stand. I do know that. And I just put this cosmic photo card. I think it's a poster version photo card. So that's what I decided to do with that. And then over here on the left side of the shelf, you will notice that it is all basically the Red Velvet solo releases. So I have the iconic case versions right here. I used to have them arranged in release order. Now I just have them arranged in age order. I do have a second Sogi one because one of them actually came to me broken. So I was supplied a replacement. I decided to keep both. I have the Monster albums up top there because couldn't really find a good spot for them, but I still think they fit, relatively well with the setup. Obviously, against the back there, we have, I think, a Sogi solo release photo book, a Monster photo book. We have Irene's, one page of Irene laying in the back there. That's very big. That's like the only way I can store that piece of merchandise or album, I guess. Well, it's not really an album, so piece of merchandise because it's just so big. And then it's kind of just like a mismatch over here in this corner of like how everything is arranged. I have it basically arranged just by size. Got the Beat stuff is right here. The Sogi 28 Reasons special albums, I think they were called, like special versions or whatever, they're actually behind. I don't know if you can see back there. I'm gonna try to show you, but that's what's holding up the Sminny, I guess, cases for Got the Beat. So that's what those are sitting on there. Obviously some more one page of Irene stuff and some more Wendy albums right there as well. And then this is what I decided to do with the Irene Like a Flower Mirror version, and then the Smart version for Wendy's album as well. Wish You Hell, so that's where those are. And then in the front here, we of course have the Got the Beach Sminnies. I still haven't really figured out like a favored way of storing the Sminnies. I think this is probably my favorite right now, but I feel like I could do better in terms of just like showing them off and displaying them in a different way. I've thought about a cork board in the past and like kind of like pinning them to that, but I haven't really gotten that far yet. Then up next, we do have this third Red Velvet shelf, and this is pretty much all of Chill Kill. And if I do remember correctly, this is pretty much unchanged from last year. So I just set this shelf up last year, and I liked it so much that I decided I didn't really want to change anything about it going into this year. Honestly, the package versions for Chill Kill, I just love so much. So I like this setup quite a lot. Let me get you, I guess, a little bit closer view of those. Sorry about the glare on the Sminnies there, but I thought that was kind of a unique way to display the Sminnies as well. Obviously, you have the photo books in the back there, and then all of the poster versions right here, which, again, I wish they were displayed maybe a little bit better, but because they're on the third shelf here, it's, I think, fine that they're laying flat here. It's not really that big of a deal. And then just a little quick addition to this shelf, because this is a new thing. This is just like a fan-made merch item that I got off of ITZY. So it's all of the Red Velvet album covers or album artwork over the last 10 years. So all the way back from Happiness to Cosmic Era, and they're puzzle pieces that you get to, like, take apart and put together. They're in sequential order right now, obviously. And I think they're supposed to be in sequential order, but it's kind of fun when you get the package and you have to quite literally unwrap all of the puzzle pieces and put it together yourself. So that was pretty fun. And then I do just have some other like 10th anniversary merch items hanging on top of it. So you have this like crown prop and then that little ribbon there. So a new addition to this shelf, but not too much has changed. Okay, so this is the introduction to my first aespa shelf of the video. I have 2 aespa shelves today. And this is also not very different from last year, if I recall. I did add the Hot Mess albums, as you can see over here on the left. I was trying to figure out a better way to display those, quite honestly, because they're kind of hidden over there, I feel like. But I only got 3 versions, and there's really nothing more I could do with this shelf because there's just so much content for Drama and My World, and then obviously all of the previous eras. So we have all of the previous eras, like early eras, kind of stacked up right here. I haven't really displayed much of those, but when Girls Era started, I feel like SM started to get a little bit more creative just with the album covers per se, so it made me kind of want to display them and show them off and stuff like that. So I have the photo book covers here, obviously the poster. Then we get into My World. I like the magazine cover of the magazine version. All of these photo book versions, I think these are member specific. And then obviously Drama over here. We have Giselle showing because she's my aespa bias, so I have her in front here. And then all of these, I forget what are these sequence? I think those might be the sequence versions. And then in addition to the sequence versions up front, we have this little Ning Ning standee, which I got in a photo card order maybe about like 2 months ago or something like that. So I just decided to sit her right there. And then we have the Sminis for Drama. And then up front here, we have the Sminis for My World as well. So yeah, that's it for the first aespa shelf. Like I said, not much has changed over the last year. Made some additions to it, but no real subtractions. So let's move on to the next shelf. Okay, so this is my second aespa shelf here, and this has so much content on it. I feel like SM released a lot of content, a lot of large content in just like size terms. For aespa this year, so a lot of big bulky stuff lies on this shelf. This is strictly just Armageddon and Whiplash releases, so let me see if I can kind of parse through with you guys where everything is at. Alright, so first things first, you'll notice in the back we do have all of the photo books kind of like sitting in the back there. I don't know, it looks pretty dark on camera. Hopefully it'll be kind of like easier to see, I don't know, or just somewhat easy to see on the video itself. But we have all the photo books laying straight up in the back there. You might be able to see, put my finger right there. I think those are the Supernova versions of Armageddon, and then we obviously have the magazine version right here. Then up front we do have the CDP, which I really wanted to find a better way to display it, but it's just too big and bulky. I feel like I can't, so I have it up front here for easy access, like when I want to use it, so I can just very easily like remove this Giselle poster version real quick, slide it out, use it, and then put it back or whatever. So I at least have that easy access for when I want to use it. But like I said, this Giselle poster version is sitting right there, and then the other 3 are just chilling back here in between. The My Power versions, I once again have Giselle showing because she is my bias, and she's sitting on top of all the other My Power versions. And then these are all of the Sminis with their little, I guess, trinkets or keychains, or what are they? Charms, that's the word I'm looking for. So with their respective charms, you have the heart with Karina, the moon with Giselle, the star with Winter, and the butterfly with Ning Ning. Almost forgot there. And then for Whiplash Era, which is the most recent release that aespa had, I decided to put all of the limited editions up front here. They were very big and bulky, but you can at least tell at the bottom here like who's which member. They're all kind of the same album, to be honest with you, like front and back, except for the sides. So actually, I might actually want to consider flipping those around to show like their character drawings, because I know that line's like the other side. So I might actually flip that around after I'm done this video, but we'll see. And then over here, we do have the speed versions, basically the exact same as the My Power versions for Armageddon. Once again, I have Giselle showing here, and then down here, these are all of the Sminis lined up. So that's pretty much it for this aespa shelf, to be honest with you. I kind of like this shelf, but don't like this shelf, if that makes sense. Like, what I've settled on in terms of how I want to display this shelf, I like, because I do like the two, I guess, medium-sized versions showing Giselle, because it's a very beautiful cover for both of these releases, right? And I do like the little My Poster version showing right here as well. But it's just like everything is so big and bulky. I wish it was like slightly more aesthetically pleasing, but this is what I settled on. This is what I'll stick with for a while, quite honestly. So let's go ahead and move on to the next bookshelf. Okay, so we have arrived at the second bookshelf. This is the middle bookshelf, and before I begin, I do just want to say that my arm is already getting quite tired, so I apologize if the camera is starting to shake or whatnot. I'm recording this free-handed. I do have a pop socket on the back of my phone slightly helping me out, but pretty much this is all free-handed, so I apologize, like I said, if the camera is like kind of shaking a little bit. But to begin things on this bookcase, we do have these items on top of it here. So a lot of light sticks. You'll see my I-DLE light stick, and then keychain, my ITZY light stick and keychain. Then my ITZY V2 light stick, or I guess light ring. And then my Blackpink light stick with Blackpink light stick keychain as well. So a lot of merch items and light sticks up here. In the way back is actually my Blackpink Weverse membership kit or whatnot. So that's just pretty much where I keep that. I decided to take out the membership card because I didn't want you guys to see my full name and dox myself. And then this little baseball thingamajig right in the center here is a Topps card. So if you don't know, Topps is like the main baseball card company, producer, manufacturer, whatever. But they released this special card for the Seoul series between the Dodgers and the Padres that happened back in March of this year. So I decided to scoop it up because I thought it'd be a cool card to have, just like as a commemorative card and whatnot. So I decided to include it on top of this shelf. I thought about putting it with my other baseball stuff, but you know, I just thought it kind of fit in right here because if I remember correctly, (G)I-DLE and aespa performed before both of the games. So they held 2 games there on back-to-back days. (G)I-DLE performed before one of the games, and then aespa performed before the other. So I thought it was a good thing to have just to like commemorate the event. All right, and then this is my Blackpink shelf. So this has actually changed a decent amount in the last year, if I remember correctly. So for those of you that don't know, I don't fully collect Blackpink. The first album, and actually the earliest album that I own for Blackpink, is just this album right here. This is the album from 2020, I think it released in. And this actually was the first ever K-pop album that I bought, period. So it does kind of hold a special place in my heart for that reason. But after that, I think I bought everything for Pink Venom. So you see some of those albums sitting back there. Obviously, I forget what, I think they were maybe called Digipack albums, but we have Lisa's back there. We have the Kit album in front of it. We just have like that little photo card case, tin case right there with all the members on the front. And then you come over here and we have Jisoo's little digipack from Born Pink, Pink Venom, whatever you want to call it. And in the back, I'm going to try to sneak around. So you see Jennie right there, and boom, yep, you can see Rose as well. So Rose and Jennie are in the back. Unfortunately, like, we can't see them, obviously, if we're just looking head on. It's just that this, like, vinyl album for Jisoo is so big. I was trying to find a better way to display all of the members, but since Jisoo and Lisa are probably my favorite 2 members from the group, I decided it was, fine, at least for me, to, have Jennie and Rose in the back there. But as I mentioned, we have this vinyl album for Jisoo, which she had a solo release, and Jisoo is my main Blackpink bias, so I went all out for Jisoo when she had that solo release. So I got the Kid album, I got 2 of each of the photo book albums, I got the special edition, I got these YG Select versions or something or other. I don't know what those are called, but they're basically like the Nemo versions that JYP has. You'll notice those 2 white books, photo books down there. Let me get my finger right there. Boom, pointing right there. You'll notice these 2 photo books here. Those are actually Lisa's photo books, volume 3 and volume 4. I decided to pick those up as I was buying me albums, actually. So I wanted something to just like make it a little bit more worthwhile to like for the shipping and stuff like that, because I don't want to just ship like 2 albums, across the world or whatever. I want to make it a little bit more worth it. So I decided to tack those on in one of my orders, and that's how I ended up with those. But yeah, that's pretty much my Blackpink and then Jisoo solo shelf here. So let's move on to the next shelf. All right, so the next shelf we have is a little bit more open. There's not as many albums on here, and I'm hoping relatively soon it will be able to grow a lot, because I heard through the grapevine that Chungha is preparing a comeback for the beginning of 2025. So I am very much looking forward to that. Hopefully it is a physical release, because it's been such a long time since we've had any sort of physical release for Chungha. But this is my Chungha album collection, and I do think it is a full collection. I don't think I'm missing any albums anymore. If I remember correctly, I was missing the Gotta Go album last year in last year's video. I'm not 100% sure, because I might have bought it at the beginning of this year. But that was the one album I was missing, because they only printed 10,000. It was limited print. Obviously, I was not collecting back in, was it 2017, 2018, whenever that came out. So I had to pick it up secondhand, and I was just waiting and waiting and waiting to see like a good price for it. And I finally got a good price for it. So I decided to pick that up, and I'm very happy to have it. It comes with all the inclusions, or it came with all the inclusions. So I was very, very happy with that. But yeah, other than that, not much else going on this shelf. Like I said, I wanted to kind of keep a devoted shelf just to Chungha, because she is probably my favorite solo artist that is like always solo, if that makes sense. Like she's not part of any group or anything like that. I know she was in I-DLE, but I-DLE doesn't exist anymore, sadly. But she's my favorite solo artist, so I wanted to have her on her own shelf here. And like I said, hopefully we can kind of add to this collection very, very soon. Okay, so moving on, we do have a third red velvet shelf. Actually, I think this is the fourth one. Yeah, this is the fourth red velvet shelf that I have here. And so this is where I decided to stow away the Cosmes from the Cosme version of the Cosmic release. And then obviously all of the Target albums, Target photo book albums from Target, all the poster versions from Cosmic as well, and then all of the Sminis right there. So this shelf I mentioned in last year's video is not 100% in terms of like stability. In the back, I don't know if I'll be able to show it, but in the back here, it's kind of bowing in the back, so it's bending. So I can't really put anything too heavy on this shelf, and I don't want to just buy a completely new bookcase. So I decided this would be a perfect shelf for the Cosmes to go, because they're just so light and airy that they don't really like they don't weigh anything essentially. So I just put the Target versions, because I needed a spot for them, up towards the front and up towards the edge. So once again, they're not really putting any weight in the middle there. And then everything else on the shelf is just really light. So I do like the way this shelf is set up. I don't know if I'll add to it in the future, because like I said, I can't put anything heavy on this. In the future, I would like to replace the entire bookshelf, but that's just in the very distant future. So this is where we have settled on this shelf for now. So let's move on to the next one. All right, so moving on, this is my miscellaneous shelf, I would call it. So these are not full collections, but these are, obviously still groups and soloists that I still enjoy collecting. So first things first, we have Le Sserafim albums. I think all of these are Target albums. So I've picked up every single one of these at Target, except for, I think, the Balaclava. So the Balaclava version in the way back there is not from Target. I think I did order that, but it's just Unforgiven era and then Crazy era for right now. And then over here, we have, I would say, a good variety of things. So we mainly have Everglow here in the center. This is almost all of their discography. I wanted to try to collect them fully, at least album-wise, but a couple of their older albums, because they're out of print and they're like run by a smaller company, are very hard to get a hold of. So maybe one day I will try to focus on picking up the copies that I don't have, like the album releases that I don't have. But for right now, I'm completely fine with this. And obviously, if they have any future releases, I will continue picking them up as well. But Melody, this particular version, is my favorite album cover of the albums that I have. So that's why I am displaying that one. And then over here on the far right, obviously front and center, you can see my Big Bang light stick. Big Bang was the K-pop group that got me into K-pop. Fantastic Baby was the song that basically pulled me into K-pop. So I did go see their concert in New Jersey in 2015. So that's where I picked up this light stick, and I've just held on to it ever since. And then we do have a couple Alexa albums here. So I don't have her debut album, which again is just very, very hard to find because she's run by a small company, or she's signed to a small company, and they didn't print very many copies. And I didn't start collecting until after it was released, but I do have all of the other albums that she has released. So we have Extra, Tattoo, and Girls Gone Vogue there. And I do just want to say I'm wishing her the very best right now, because it's recently come out that her company is like pretty aggressively like mishandling her or mistreating her. They're kind of holding her back. She's so talented. And I think it's Zany Bros or ZB Label or something like that. They just need to do better. So I'm wishing her the best. I'm hoping that, you know, she can either get out of there or just resolve things, you know, and be able to make music and dance just, you know, freely the way she wants to. So very much looking forward to that and hoping for the best for Alexa. And then the last two albums on this shelf here are just the two card albums that I own. So I think the white one there is from the Gunshot album release. And then the one on the far right, the black and yellow one, that's their most recent release, Where To Now. So I picked up, you know, just both of those on a whim because I liked the releases, and that is where they are on the shelf. But yeah, that's pretty much the miscellaneous shelf, so let's keep it moving. All right, so last but not least, we have the last bookshelf and the newest bookshelf to my collection to go over. And up top here, we just have three things. So we have this One Page of Irene, just like poster version type thing. I just really thought the cover was super cute, so I wanted to display it. And then these are my two Red Velvet Seasons greetings that I've got for the last 2 years, so the 2023 and the 2024. And when I eventually get the 2025, that will probably also go up here. And right below that, we do have our first ITZY shelf on the top shelf of this bookcase here. So this is everything from debut to Cheshire era. So right over here on the left side, you'll have everything. You'll see like special editions back there, photo books, and this is obviously the limited edition for Cheshire era. I just love that cover so much. That picture is just awesome. So I decided to display that. And then in the center here, you have everything related to Crazy in Love. So the special editions and all of the photo books and stuff like that, all the pizza box photo books. You have the Checkmate photo books in the back there, kind of just like providing a little bit more like depth, I guess, to the setup. You have the limited edition for Checkmate right here. You have the First World Tour DVD right there, right next to it. Then all of these early albums like Guess Who, Not Shy, Wannabe Era, Icy. I do have this Wannabe album up front here because Wannabe still remains my favorite ITZY title track, and I just love that era so much, so that is why it is prominently displayed on this shelf. And then just sitting here, I have this little knickknack here. I think this was an inclusion in the Cheshire album, and Rujin is my bias, so I just have her facing front and center right there. But this is pretty much the first shelf for ITZY. I don't think it has changed too much compared to last year. I just moved it over a bookcase, so the setup would look kind of the same last year, but like I said, I had to move it over one bookcase because I got a whole new bookcase, and I just kind of kept the format the same. So that's where we are with that. All right, so moving on to my second ITZY shelf. This is everything from Kill My Doubt and after. So obviously the most recent release is Gold. That's on the right there. Born to Be is in the center, and then Kill My Doubt is on the left. So I did have to kind of consolidate and downsize the way my Kill My Doubt setup was compared to last year. I think I had all of the digipacks displayed. I had all of the cassette versions displayed. So I just kind of consolidated and had all my Rujin items showing. And then in the back here, I kind of just organized the photo books and the special editions as best I could to, you know, take up the least amount of space possible. And then in the center here is Born to Be, and I do have all of the photo books. They're just stacked in front of each other. You can see the limited edition in the back there, but JYP didn't get too crazy with, like, I guess, creativity on the outside of these albums for this particular comeback, and I think that was by design because Leah was not a part of it. So I think they were kind of just paying respect to Leah and the group that, hey, we're not going to, put ourselves on these album covers or on the albums at all because, we are 5 and right now we're only 4 because one of our members is going through something. So let's just go ahead and keep it plain and simple, keep it minimalistic. And I think that's honestly a pretty cool thing. I don't know if I'm looking too much into that, but if that was the reason why that they decided to go with just, blue, red, and black album covers with some script, then I think that's a pretty cool thing. And then last but not least on this shelf, we do have everything for gold era. So I wanted to get like a little bit more, I don't know if crazy is the right word, but I wanted to display more for this era, but I ended up landing on this because I just don't think I'm going to have the space on these 2 shelves for ITZY. So obviously front and center here, you have the signed Rujin postcard that I picked up. I thought I was going to put it in one of my binders for my large inclusions, but I decided to buy a sleeve, buy a top loader for this postcard, and just put it on my shelf and display it that way. I wanted to display all of the digipacks, but I just decided to display Rujin's version and then stack the other member digipacks right there. And then I did decide to take out the little frame that they put in the phone box version, and I put a Rujin photo there, so I thought that was super adorable. We have the Nemo versions just chilling right here, and then obviously all of the photo book versions right here. And then in the back, I don't know if you can see it, but we have the phone box and then one of each of the special editions. For this particular era, I decided to consolidate the special editions, meaning I'm not displaying all the special editions that I actually own. So I bought 6 total special editions, and the other 4 are just like in a box in my closet. I'm probably going to try to sell them in the future or, cut them up and make like collages or something like that. But that's pretty much gold era for ITZY, and that's pretty much this entire shelf for ITZY. These are all of my ITZY albums that I have left, so let's move on to the next shelf. All right, so moving on, we do have the first of 3 (G)I-DLE shelves to go over. This is everything from debut era to I Feel, and so obviously front and center here on the right, we have the debut album cover, which I like to prominently display, and then we have all of the other releases behind that. And then in the center here, we have I Love, which I love this album cover so much. So I wanted to make sure to leave space to display that. We have all of the infinite number of jewel cases that Kpop decides to release these days. Then we have the Queen version, Cat version, Butterfly version for I Feel. The I Feel photo book, which again is just such an awesome cover. It's kind of, I guess, covered up by these jewel cases right here, but I wanted to display Oogie since she's my (G)I-DLE bias. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are with that. We do have the polka versions right there as well. But yeah, pretty simple layout for my first (G)I-DLE shelf here. Not too much going on with it, so let's move on to the next one. All right, so this is my second (G)I-DLE shelf here, and once again, we have plenty more jewel cases to display, as you can see. But this is everything between Heat and I Sway. Sorry about that really loud car going by. I'll start with the I Sway section over here. So I wanted to display all of the cassettes. These are actually the backs of the cassettes, but I wanted to make sure to display them since they had all the members' pretty faces right there. I just kind of like lined up the polka albums, as you can see, between photo books. And I wanted to display one of the photo books for I Sway. That's the one I ended up landing on because I just liked that concept the most, I think, and so I stacked them on top of the other photo books as well. Then everything in the center here is from 2 era, so we have, once again, all of the jewel cases with Oogies displaying right on top. We have the polka versions with Oogies right on top there, right up front, and then we have all of the 2 photo books in the back here with the lenticular. If I do that, you will see all the members. If I just move the camera up and down. But the lenticular cover for 2 era, that's once again probably my favorite concept for that era. And then next to that, we do have the concert video or Blu-ray or DVD or something of that nature this like light blue thing right here, boom, right there. So I have that sitting right there. And then over here, we have all of the heat releases. So we have Oogi's, I guess, Digipack they were calling this, or just Jewel version. It's not really a Jewel case, but I think they might have been calling them Digipacks. They did one for each member and then a group version. So you can see the group version poking through right there, but I have Oogi's version on display. And then they did 2 photo book versions, which I have right there. But yeah, this is my second shelf for G-IDLE, and this is actually the last shelf for group activities related to G-IDLE, because the next one will be solo activities. And I do think I like this shelf probably the most out of my G-IDLE shelves. I'm not quite sure why, because there's not that much going on, but then again, there's not that much going on with that shelf either, I feel like. So, I don't know. I like this shelf. I really like that Oogie picture from the Heat album, and I really like the I Sway cover, just because I think the teal and the yellow just go really, really well together. So, yeah, let's move on to the last shelf. All right, so we have reached the last shelf of the video, and there's not a whole lot going on this shelf. But these are all of the G-IDLE solo releases. I do have Soojin front and center here because she is still a part of G-IDLE in my eyes, and I have collected everything from her first 2 solo releases, so I wanted to make sure to properly display those, that's for sure. You'll notice this little charm or bracelet here. This I got as a freebie at a G-IDLE concert just this past September. And they gave me Soojin, so I decided to make it a part of my album collection setup on my shelf. You'll see in the back left here, we have all of Oogi's albums from Oogie 1, released I think back in May. I wanted to prominently display the special version or special edition for that. This is the collect book that I got at the G-IDLE concert. It was part of their concert merch. I will be starting a Oogie collection in this collect book. I just don't have any Oogie cards as of yet, but I think I will have a couple in my next haul video that you will see on the channel. And then over here on the right side of the shelf, you will see on the bottom here, we have Miyun's solo release. That is the light green, like coral green type color, or maybe like seafoam green, I don't know. And then this like teal and yellow right here is Soyeon's solo release, Windy. So I have one of each of those. And this picture was actually an inclusion in the, I think, DVD or Blu-ray or whatever it is for the World Tour that I picked up last year. So you got this as an inclusion in the World Tour DVD, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So I just have this displayed there. And then this is probably the most recent addition to this shelf. This is the Neverland Weverse membership kit. I just decided to slide it in right there because I didn't really want to bother moving anything else on the group shelves. And I feel like that would just be a good spot for that as of right now. But yeah, this pretty much wraps up all the albums that I have to go through on all of these shelves here today. So I'm actually going to, because I know you guys in the past have showed some interest in like the posters that I have up. So I think I'll just go through one by one and show the posters to you guys that I have up as well. All right, so this is the first poster, and this is actually the most recent poster that I have put up. This is between the third and the second bookshelf I have shown you guys. This is an aespa poster from Whiplash era. And then you come down here, and we have this Oogie 1 poster from her solo release. And then you come down here, and we have Soojin's poster from her most recent solo release. So all 3 of these posters are residing right under one another on the same wall. Then moving on to in between bookcases 2 and 1, we have this aespa poster from Girls Era. I love the blue so much there. And then right underneath them, we have this stamp on it, got the Beat poster, so a very iconic poster as well. And then we have this Red Velvet SM Town poster, I think, right underneath it. And I just love that poster so much as well. So all of those posters residing on the same wall. And up next, we do have more posters on the adjacent wall right next to bookshelf 1 here. And so this is an aespa poster from My World. And then right underneath that, we have an I Love poster for G-IDLE. And then underneath them, we have a Seulgi poster from her solo release, 28 Reasons. And then right below that, we have a Blackpink poster. So I think that's from Born Pink. So these are all of the posters on this wall. Okay, and so this is actually the opposite wall of the room where I do have a couple more posters hung up here or posted up. I turned the lights off because it was very, very bright, but this is a birthday poster. And then the remaining posters on this wall, we have this poster from 2 era for G-I-DLE. We have this I Feel poster, which funny thing about this I Feel poster is you see this like fake tattoo on Soyeon's arm here. I would say like 8 times out of 10, I look up, I think that's a real spider, like every single time. So it kind of like freaks me out or spooks me from time to time, but I have to keep constantly reminding myself like, okay, it's just a fake tattoo on a poster. It's not a real spider. So just something funny, like a funny story about that poster as well. Then I have this Jisoo poster with the nice little, I guess, sunlight coming through the blinds there. The sun's kind of setting right now, so you will see some sunlight coming through. Then we have this ITZY poster, which I think is just a standard album inclusion poster that I decided to hang up from Cheshire Era. Once again, just proving that I love Cheshire Era so much. And then last but not least for this wall, we have this G-I-DLE poster from I Love, and it's a vertical poster. So yeah, that's pretty much this wall right here. Give it like a nice little look right there. I don't want to show too much because my PC is like right below. Okay, and so then the last wall that we have posters on is the wall opposite from the window. So I actually did close the window because the glare was really bad for this poster. As you can see, it's pretty like glossy like material or whatever. So this is a Not Shy poster from ITZY. It's a vertical poster. And then actually right below that poster, we have another ITZY poster from Kill My Doubts era. Once again, I think this is just like an album inclusion poster that I decided to hang up. So yeah, that is all the posters that I have for this video. That's all the posters that I have in my collection period. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Okay, so we have reached the end of this shelf tour video for 2024. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And I guess just a quick disclaimer, since I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video, I don't think, but the purpose of this video is not to show off or brag like, oh my gosh, look at how many like, K-pop albums I have, it's just to, see how far the album collection, my album collection has grown over the last year. Maybe inspire you guys with how I set up my shelves. Maybe you want to emulate, or maybe it just gives you ideas how to, different ways to set up your shelves if you collect albums and stuff like that. So once again, this video, the purpose of it is not like malicious in any way. This is just to see how much it's grown over the last calendar year. But as far as upcoming content on the channel, since this video is out of the way, I think I'm going to be able to get one more video up before the end of 2024. I think that will probably be a photo card haul video. So if you enjoy photo card haul videos, subscribe, follow along, do all that good stuff. I've been thinking about this week in particular of making like a blue sky and an Instagram. So I haven't made it as of yet, but if I make it by the time I upload this video, you guys can like check my links in the description or check my links in my About Me section of YouTube or whatever and see if I have created them. You don't have to follow me there. I just want to have them just to, connect with more people and stuff like that. So you can follow me if you want to, if I have them up by the time I upload this video. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video since it's been quite a long one already, I think. So thank you so much for watching this video if you made it all the way to the end. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have an awesome day. Bye.